Jessica, and this is ATC Presents K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas. Rigo is absent again today, so I have a very special guest with me. I am joined by Jenny from Pocha Playlist. Hey Jenny, what's up?
Hi, welcome. Hi, I'm happy to be here. Wow, I feel like I'm so used to hosting my own podcast, and I'm like, welcome people, come listen. But it's like, well, welcome to the ATC listeners.
Hey.
I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to have you on. I listened to your podcast and I was a little bit disappointed that you guys didn't like Happiness that much, but it's okay.
Oh, no.
It's okay. I loved your deep dive. This is pretty recent. Your deep dive on All of Us Are Dead. That was really good.
Yes.
You guys did the whole thing all at once, which was nice too. It was a short drama, so
Yeah. I love it when Netflix comes out with everything at once, because we're just like binge and then recap, and we're like, that was great,
I know. I totally get the feel. I'm a binger. I love binging. I can't do weekly. It's so stressful for me. Anyway, in case some of our listeners haven't listened to your podcast or don't know you very well, we're just gonna do a quick rapid fire background on K-drama. What was your first K-drama?
So my first K-drama was in 2009. It was called You're Beautiful, and it had Park Shin-hye. It was a wild plot, and if anybody doesn't know about it, it's so crazy. It's basically Park Shin-hye is a nun or something, or a nun in training, and she has to take her twin brother's place in a K-pop group, and it has this because I was really into K-pop at the time, and before I was into K-dramas, and so I was a huge FD Island fan, if anyone knows who that is, and so one of the members is in that K-drama, so that's kind of why I started watching it, and just opened the door into K-drama land. So that was my first one.
Oh my god, I loved You're Beautiful as well, and the hair, the makeup, the style just didn't age very well, but I love that drama. I think that might have been my first time watching a Park Shin-hye drama. And it was a gender bender. She was her twin. It was a 12th Night kind of deal meets Sound of Music, because she was a nun. It was crazy. It was wild.
There were so many things happening, and it was hilarious. And I had never watched a K-drama at that point, and I think I was just so broken by all the because there's so many guys in that group, and they all spoiler, I guess they all end up kind of liking her. And I just remember being like, how is she not with these beautiful men? No, what's happening?
How can she resist?
Happy. Exactly. And so now it's now I know K-dramas are like this.
Yeah,
it's a good intro for sure.
Yeah, I think if you liked maybe Scarlet Heart, Rio, and along those lines where it's a lot of guys and one girl, you'll definitely like You're Beautiful from 2009. What is your favorite K-drama? You don't have to limit it to one.
Tough. Yeah, I call things my favorite K-drama just because I've watched it so many times. There's a lot of K-dramas that I really like, and I feel like I just don't know if I could watch it again. But these ones are my easy, just bread and butter K-dramas. So one that I watched a lot, it's on Netflix though, I believe. It's called Strong Girl Bongsu. It's basically this tiny girl, Park Bo-gum. She's super cute. She's super strong because of whatever mystical power, and it's just the love lines in that are amazing, and it's just adorable. An older one called I Love from a Star. It's really classic. Have you seen this one?
Yes, I have. Yeah,
it's so good. It's Kim Soo-yeon. He's he was in something recent. Oh, he was in It's Okay Not to Be Okay recently. Also love that K-drama. And a couple of recent ones, Hospital Playlist and Our Beloved Summer. I think these came out this year and a couple years ago, but just amazing K-dramas to kind of turn on and just watch through a couple times. And then some sadder ones that I also really like is My Mister. I think you actually recapped this on your podcast recently with Nuna's Nunchi, right?
Yes, it was so sad. I cried on the podcast. I would never, 0 out of 10 would recommend crying on a podcast.
Sure. I can't imagine how you recap that show, because I would have bawled my eyes out on the podcast too.
It was such a tough review, and it's depressing. But it's an excellent drama. I highly recommend it.
For sure, for sure. And then another one recently called Move to Heaven. This was actually, so on Pojo Playlist, we rank our K-dramas, and I think, was it last year or whenever this came out? It was literally number one on our list because we were like, it's just so good, like so great.
Yeah.
So
it hurts so good.
Exactly. Oh, K-dramas. And then lastly, Goblin, which we'll be reviewing today.
Oh
so
my God.
one of my
Yes. I am
favorites as
so
well.
excited to cover Goblin. What would you say is your like genre, your top like K-drama genre?
I feel like I will always love a good K-romance, but there needs to be a little bit of comedy.
Oh.
And then the other half of me is like a slice of life. Give me that like pain. Give me that, you know? Like,
Pain.
Yes. So I'm firmly in those two boats, which are, I would say, pretty far apart from each other sometimes. But like, yeah, those are my two top.
Very nice. I think we have similar tastes. And honestly, like all of the ones that you mentioned were your favorite K-dramas are like some of the best K-dramas of all time. So like Strong Girl Double Soon,
Yeah.
Our Beloved Summer, and Goblin. Like these are great ones. So you can't go wrong by following. If you guys want like a playlist, a Pocha playlist from Jenny of like things to watch, her favorite K-dramas are excellent place to start.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So housekeeping really fast. If this is your first time listening, thank you so much for pressing play and kicking it with me and Jenny today. Go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. And if you like us, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And of course, I go buck wild on our socials sometimes. So if you want to stay up to date on everything that we're doing and chat with me, Rico does not have any hands in the socials. He's like, you do it. I don't want any part. Like, I can't keep up. So you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at ATC Pod. And if you're a fan, please consider becoming a patron. It's a great way for you to get involved and show your support. You can check out the page on patreon.com/alwayscriticpod, which is our main movie podcast. Don't get confused. That's what ATC stands for. Anyway, let's get into it. Do you want to do the honors, Jenny, and read the Asian Wiki synopsis?
Yes, I will try to get through this insanely long synopsis. Yeah. I know. All right. So in ancient times, Kim Shin was an unbeatable war general, but the young, jealous king frames him as a traitor and kills him. Kim Shin becomes Dokkaebi, who is the goblin, possessing an immortal life. At first, he thinks that he's blessed, but he then realizes that he is cursed. Closer to present day, Kim Shin waited 900 years for a human bride to end his immortal life. One night, he saves a dying pregnant woman who is destined to die. The woman gives birth to a baby girl named Jin Eun-tak. In present day, Jin Eun-tak is a high school student. She sees ghosts and hears the whisper of Dokkaebi's bride. On her birthday, Jin Eun-tak sits in the sea with a lighted birthday cake. At this time, Kim Shin suddenly appears in front of her. Kim Shin does not know why, but he can hear her voice and appear before her against his will. Coincidentally, Kim Shin lives with a Grim Reaper at the same house.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for reading that. That's basically episode 1 of the show.
Yeah, right.
It's basically episode 1. Goblin, aka Dokkaebi, aka Guardian, the Great and Lonely God, originally aired from December 2016 to January 2017. And I should say that 2016 is the year of our Lord because there were so many great K-dramas that came out that year,
For
like
sure.
W, Moon Lovers, Signal, K2, Uncontrollably Fond, Weightlifting Fairy, Kim Bok-ju, Descendants of the Sun, like a handful of these we've covered on the show. Amazing K-dramas. I don't know if we can like live up to like that year again. It's like crazy.
For sure.
Yeah. Goblin was 16 episodes long. And it's directed by Eun-tak. He's directed Jiri-san's Sweet Home on Netflix, Mr. Sunshine, which is another great K-drama from 2018. He also directed, I just mentioned it, Descendants of the Sun from 2016, and both Dream Highs. Dream High, another great K-pop show with like...
Yes.
What was it, like YG, I think? YG.
Was it YG? I don't remember, but I just know IU was in it, and I was like,
that's the first time I saw IU. Yes, exactly. That was 2011, so pretty dated for us now. And Goblin was written by Kim Eun-suk, and she has worked with the director before on Descendants of the Sun and Mr. Sunshine, and she's also written things like Secret Garden from 2010, Gentleman's Dignity, The Heirs from 2013 with Lee Min-ho, The King, Eternal Monarch, also with Lee Min-ho, and she's just basically a prolific writer. So keep an eye on her stuff. If you like any of these shows, definitely keep an eye on her because you'll probably like her next show.
For sure.
We've got a crazy cast on deck here. We have Gong-yu as Kim Shin. He's done a bunch of movies, Train to Busan being one of them. Silenced in 2011. He's done a bunch of TV as well, considering he's the Coffee Prince from 2007. Squid Game cameo, which like had everyone in a tizzy. And then he was most recently in The Silent Sea from 2021. Kim Go-eun is Eun-tak, Goblin's bride. She's been in a bunch of movies. The first time I saw her was in a movie, and I really like this movie, Memories of the Sword, and it has Juno in it. Lee Juno.
Oh, nice.
Highly recommend. It's like a historical kind of fantasy, and like I highly recommend it. I don't hear enough people talking about Memories of the Sword. It like was really good to me. And then Tune In for Love with Jung-hae. She's acted with like all these like hot actors. And then she's done a bunch of TV as well. Cheese in the Trap from 2016, which is I don't find it very a very good show. But there's that. She was also with Lee Min-ho in The King, Eternal Monarch, Yumi Cells 2021. She will be in Little Women later this year. So I'm excited for that one. And then our second leads, we have Lee Dong-wook as Grim Reaper and Eun-na as Sunny. And Sunny, Eun-na was recently in Snowdrop. I first saw her in The Queen and Yun's Man, which was like all the rage in 2012. Lee Dong-wook, I think I saw him first in My Girl, which was like an older drama from 2005. Do you have like, where did you first see these people? Because this cast is stacked, but they have gone on to do great things, but they also had stuff before Goblin that people recognize them from. Did you recognize this cast before you came in to see Goblin?
So I knew of Gong-yu. This is probably like a sin in the K-drama world, but I've never watched Coffee Prince. People are going to be like, all right, turning off the show right now. But I've never watched it.
It's very good. It's very 2007, like mid 2000s. But I would say that it's kind of hard to watch now because it's kind of nowhere. Like you can't really find it in places. It's not easy to like acquire.
Dated now.
And it's dated. I think at some point, like if there's a lull in your K-drama watching, definitely try and find it and watch Coffee Prince. But it's okay.
For sure.
Forgiven. Wait, have you watched Train to Busan? Please tell me.
I have, yes.
Okay.
I have watched Train to Busan. Zombie Korean related movie thing for sure. Yes. So I watched Train to Busan, so I didn't know of Gong-yu from there. But it was my first time seeing him in kind of like a romance or like goofy role. Because like in Train to Busan, he was like fighting for his life. You know? So I just like was kind of like, oh, okay, like interesting. This is gonna be fun. Kim Go-eun, this is my first time seeing her. Like I did never watch Cheese in the Trap, so I was like, oh, okay, like she seems really sweet. Like don't really have any expectations. Lee Dong-wook as well. I actually had never seen any shows with him up until Goblin.
You're surprising me right now, Chatty.
Yeah, I don't like. I feel like
okay.
He wasn't really my style. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, I watched K-drama because I was like, that guy is hot, and like Lee Dong-wook was kind of like, I don't know. He was really my taste. So I've never really like actively pursued his K-dramas.
Same.
Yes. Yeah, you get me, right? You know,
I get you because I'm looking at him like, I don't get it. Like, why do people like, fawn over him? But it's okay. You know, everyone has their own taste. But
for sure.
So this was your first experience with him in a show.
For sure, yeah. And then Sunny, I saw her in Love from Star, but like it never really clicked. I am terrible with like names and face recognition, and so like I will like be watching a drama with my boyfriend, and he'll be like, "Oh, you know, we've seen that person in like all these dramas," and I'll be like, "We have."
We have.
I'm like, I've never seen this person in my life, and so like with Sunny, I was like, "Oh, I don't think I've seen her in anything," and then I rewatched like My Love from a Start, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Sunny from like Goblin," you know? It was like one of those moments, but yeah, so definitely kind of like introduced to a lot of these people, and like rewatching it this time around for the podcast too, it made me realize how many amazing actors are in Goblin as just really side roles. I was like, holy shoot, you know?
Yes, a lot of people came out of the show like on like they're stars now. Like Kim So-hyun, she plays like the queen in all the flashbacks, and Kim In-jae plays the king in flashbacks, and like those two alone have gone on and done really great dramas and have become well known. Like Kim In-jae did like, what was it, Dali and something. Cocky
Dali
Prince
and the Cocky Prince. Yes,
that's it. Yes, and Kim So-hyun has done things like Love Alarm.
Yeah, which is huge on Netflix.
True.
And like, you know, totally blew up.
Yeah.
And like Jung-hae was like, you know, the baseball kid.
Jung-hae, the cameo of the century.
I was like, what? I was like, that was Jung-hae. Like, I had to rewind the scene. I was like, wait, no. Like, is that Ashley? And I was like, holy shoot. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Because you watch them in other dramas and you see how their career flourishes and you don't think, oh, it's that one guy from episode 7 of Goblin.
Yeah.
Like, you don't read like that. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so all of this out of the way, we have our cast, we have whoever is behind the camera. What did you think of Goblin? I know this was a rewatch, but like, how do you feel?
So I've seen Goblin now probably 4 times, and like so like, and it's crazy because like every single time I watch it, I'm like, dang, this is a good freaking drama, you know? Like, because I'll watch Goblin, I'll be like, wow, that was amazing. I'll watch like 5-6 K dramas and I'll rewatch it and be like, dang, Goblin's amazing. It's just like a timeless piece. I think for me personally, first episode was kind of tough to get through because I'm not a big historical K drama person. But then like the moment we kind of get into like the kind of current day stuff, like I feel like it was just like we were on a train and we were going, you know?
Right.
So I personally loved it. I think it was a great show. I definitely think it was almost like, I don't want to say ahead of its time, but like I would say that a lot of more elements that are in Goblin in 2016 are like more apparent now in like today's like K-drama tropes. Like I would say like the Goblin has turned itself into a trope almost, you know, with like the mystical deities and whatnot. But yeah, sorry to answer your question in a very long-winded way. It was a great show. I truly enjoyed it. And like if anyone hasn't seen it, like 1000% recommend.
Okay, so first of all, you don't have to worry about rambling because that's what K-Rambles is for. Like, I'm constantly rambling. It doesn't matter. We'll get to our destination eventually. For me, I would say that it was hard to separate like how I first felt about this drama with coming at it like so many years later and rewatching it again. Because when I watched this like when it was airing, and I was like caught up. Like I was legitimately like, I lived and breathed Goblin. I loved the show. I was mad every time the episode ended. It was like, I was just, it was wringing me out to dry. And I loved Gong-yu, and I think I had never seen Kim Go-eun before. It was like an experience to watch this and feel all of these emotions and kind of understand like that this was a global drama. And they were doing things, like you said, that are kind of commonplace now, like going overseas and filming overseas in Quebec, Canada. Like I had never seen a drama where they left Korea.
Right?
Completely.
Seriously.
Yeah. So filming in Canada, I was like, oh my God, I've never seen. I think this was the first drama where I saw Subway product placement for the first time in a K-drama.
For sure. I was like, I think I was watching this like last week and I was like, dang, I really want some Subway now. And like it was the first, but 100% like first K-drama while I was like, that sandwich looks so good. Like I would give an arm and a leg for that sandwich right now.
Yeah, it made Subway look life-changing, and I was upset at it the first time that I saw it because I was like, is that Subway? And they're eating it with gusto. Like it's the best sandwich they've ever had in their lives. Right. So I mean, they did a great job, like product placement. But again, I reiterate, I do not condone Subway product placement in K-dramas. I think it's the worst thing. Anyway, so this drama did a lot of new things, and I appreciate that. The OST is all time.
Oh gosh,
all time, like top tier, unassailable OST. And like this OST lives on like way past the drama. And that's the goal of creating an OST that like brings you back to 2016.
Yeah, no, and like 100%. I remember so when I watched this originally, I watched it on some like random sites, but recently I watched it on Viki.
Yes.
And like Viki does this amazing thing where they actually translate the OST lyrics.
Yes.
And I remember being like, wow, the OST hit different, like, and it just because you now read the lyrics. I'm not Korean, so I don't know what they're saying, right? But then now reading the lyrics in that scene with the song, you're like, oh my God, this is a work of art. Like, this is genius. Like, this OST is so perfectly like written and placed. It's just amazing. Like, I bless Viki for doing that.
Bless Viki. The Viki subbers doing the Lord's work here, because
for sure
we had all of the lyrics on screen for us when you watch it on Viki. And this is not a Viki to plug Viki, but you know, Viki has great subbers. And you had bangers like Stay With Me by Chanyeol and Punch.
Yes.
You had Beautiful by Crush, like, which kills me to this day. Round and Round by Highs and Han So-ji. Like, the list goes on and on. Every one of these songs is worthy to be on a playlist, worthy to be replayed over and over again.
Yeah, and I would say like a small thing that just gets me is like, there's always like the big OST songs, but then the work that they put into, like, I don't want to call them like jingles, but kind of like the side songs, you know, kind of just like the mystical vibe songs. Like, even those are like low key bangers. Like, I'm like humming them and stuff, and I'm like, it's not even a song technically, you know?
Right.
But just like that level of effort into the whole musical like side of this drama was amazing.
So watching it this time around again, it was hard because I was like, this is a really good drama, but there's certain aspects of the drama that I have to complain about, and I have to talk about, like, basically the age gap romance, which I have come on this podcast and our other movie podcast, and I'm constantly saying that I hate age gaps. And I'm not talking about age differences. I'm talking about a chasm between their ages. And in this case, Gong-yu at the time was 38 and Kim Go-eun was 26.
Yep.
So that's a 12-year age gap between them. And it was hard. And then it's compounded because obviously he's an immortal goblin, and then she plays a 19-year-old, barely legal girl.
It was uncomfy because they do get a couple like little physical scenes, and I'm like, because like I hate to bring other K-dramas and other like movies in here, but like whenever I think of age gaps, I think of Twilight, and like for some reason, and maybe this is just me in middle school being like, I love Edward Cullen, but like for me, I was like, oh, this is okay because they look similar in age, you know, because, you know, Edward and Bella were both like high school kids, even though he's really, really old.
Yeah.
But the fact that Gong-yu looks a lot older than, you know, it's just, that's what makes it a little more uncomfy because I'm like, oh, he's like and like she calls him ajashi, which in Korean is like, you're not even oppa, you know, you're like an old man to me, you know, and it's like, so that was weird. And like, I get it's like the fates and the love lines are fated to love. But I was like, as just like a mortal being, like this makes me feel a little bit weird. So glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, the age gap was amazing. It's got a bad aftertaste. Like it leaves such a bad aftertaste on the show. Yeah. Because like you said, they look their ages. Well, they look that there's a big age gap between them. And of course, her personality, Eun-tak's personality in the show is very innocent and naive and lively, and she's just so young. She feels, her character feels young. She feels like a teenager, probably even less of a teenager.
Yeah, for sure. And I get like they're trying to make her mature and like she's supposed to be a girl who like kind of grew up too fast or whatever, but when she's around him, she's not very mature.
Not.
So
exactly.
She's like,
it's hard. And then Gong is like an old soul. He's playing like this old soul. So it feels very uncomfortable to watch them live out this like amazing star-crossed lovers plot line. For sure. Even though you love it, you're like, I want them to be together, but at the same time, this is very icky.
Yeah, it definitely leaves like a weird effect. And I'm glad that they were at least tasteful with it, like for most of the drama. I don't want to give out any spoilers and we can talk about this more later, but like, you know, they were okay. Like they weren't like doing too much early
yeah.
on, which was nice. But yeah, just the idea of it was kind of like, oh, she's your bride, sure, but like, yeah.
So another complaint that I would have is that the supernatural lore is extremely confusing. I have more questions than answers at this point, and I've seen this drama I think 3 times by now in my whole life. Like, I don't know who certain characters are. I don't know what their deal is. I don't know if they're good, if they're bad, if they're a mix. If it feels mythic, and in a way, I don't have the text to bridge the gap here between the drama and like what they're basing this on. And that is another very annoying aspect of the show, is that it feels kind of arbitrary when they're changing rules and making up rules and setting you up for, okay, this is what this means in this world, and then, you know, every 9 years, blah blah blah, like, you know, they give you a lot of exposition, and then at the end they're like, it doesn't matter. Like, you know. So,
basically it's confusing because, like, I think we're used to, in K-dramas there's usually like one supreme being, but I feel like in Goblin there's kind of many, and I don't know if that's just maybe like, I don't know, maybe it's like Koreans kind of know what's going on, and like us people who aren't Korean are just like, what do you mean there's another god? Like, what? You know, like, and so maybe that's part of it, I think. But I think what you said exactly is right at the end, where it's like, actually, don't worry about any of that. It's like, it doesn't matter because love trumps all, and that's what we're here for. So, I totally
so
get
the
that.
writing, it's like they gave it such high stakes, and then they were like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, we're good.
So that was annoying. Bromance was a plus between Goblin and the Reaper. Amazing. I like their development as well, because they definitely start off in one place and then they have a lot of history, and then they end up in a completely different place, and there's this kinship and familial aspect to them that feels feels like it goes beyond bromance a little bit. It just feels nice to see by the end their development.
I agree. I think one of the main chemistries, like, in this show is really between Grim Reaper and Goblin. Like, more so than even the romances. It's like their chemistry really drives the whole show forward, because there's so many dark themes, and I'm sure we'll get into a lot of them, but it's like the death, the love, the fates, all that. But then you have just really cute little moments between Goblin and Grim Reaper, and they do it so well, where you're like, it's like they dig you into a hole, and you're just like, so many bad things are happening, and they're like, oh, but let me give you this really cute romance scene of Goblin and a Grim Reaper, and you're like, oh, I see light. You know? So it's definitely like a back and forth, but I totally agreed that, like, chemistry just is unparalleled. And like Gong-yu and Lee-dong-wook are like really, really good friends to this day. Like, I think I've seen them on like reality shows where they're just like hanging out, drinking, like doing their thing. So like they're like truly best friends, I think.
Oh, you feel it. You feel it in this drama for sure. Is there anything else that you want to say in a general sense before I get into fun facts, and then we can give our soju bottle ratings?
Yeah, I guess my last thing I want to touch on before we get into the main like recap, I guess, is just the second lead couple. Like, I always dislike like a third kind of person who like tries to get into the relationship, and I was a little bit worried with Lee Dong-wook's character. I think when I first watched the show, 'cause I was like, oh, is he gonna be like a third trying to mess up Goblin and, you know, whatever. But the fact that they just gave Grim Reaper and Sunny just the best second lead storyline, like, for me, I love that. Like, that's one of the reasons why I think I've rewatched Goblin, because it's like half of the time it's for Goblin and the other half is for Grim Reaper and Sunny, you know?
You bring up a good point, because I don't know if I necessarily gravitate toward the second lead, but I know fundamentally, like objectively, it's a great second lead couple. I love that they get so much screen time, you know, to grow and work out their stuff a little bit, and kind of just wallow in their feelings a lot. I feel like that's a better way of putting like their interactions, is that they just wallow in their emotions with each other.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice, because you feel their history and you feel their struggle a lot, sometimes more than the main couple. And I would say that the drama tries its best to give each couple a happy ending. And I don't think that's much of a spoiler because it's a love drama. And that's like the blueprint for love K-dramas. But the thesis of the show is sad love.
Mm-hmm.
And
faded love.
Faded love, sad love. And that sucks because they give you this thesis early on. Like, which would you choose? Like a lifetime of sadness or a lifetime of love, 1,000 years of whatever. He gives this ultimatum to Eun-tak, and she says, what about a sad love? And at the end of the day, like, that is what you have to have going into the show. If you're watching it for the first time, just expect sad love.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing in the show. So if you're ready to cry, if you're ready to, experience this, then hit play on Goblin. It's something. Now, let's talk about a couple of fun facts because I said before it was like a global drama, and it truly was. The final episode had like an 18.68% nationwide audience in Korea. That's the 5th highest rated drama in cable television history in Korea. And like the first, if you're wondering, what are the first 4? I'll tell you. Number 1 is World of the Married, 2 Sky Castle, 3 Crash Landing on You, 4 Reply 1988, and then Goblin. So it's in really great company. And of course, it won the grand prize for writer Kim Eun-tak and best actor for Gong-yu at the Baeksang Arts Awards, the 53rd Baeksang Arts Awards, which is a huge deal. It's basically the Oscars for entertainment in Korea. And that just goes to show that this show not only resonated with audiences, but it resonated with critics and people in the industry as well. So that's really kind of a nice thing to think about in the back of your head. And then I mentioned them filming in Quebec, Canada. Now all of these locations in Goblin are tourist attractions, like not only in Canada, but in Korea. And I will say that the red door that they enter and exit out of in Canada is basically an emergency exit.
Oh no, really?
Yes. At a theater. And I'm going to butcher this name because I don't speak French. Theater Petit Champlain. I don't know.
Oh, you did great.
Did
that
I?
Sounded French to me.
Yeah, so that's an emergency exit at that theater if you ever want to go to Quebec and take a little gander at these filming locations. So yeah, I think that's a pretty unique aspect of the show is them filming overseas. And I would say that the show feels big budget.
For sure.
And nowadays we get big budget in a couple of dramas that are originating in Korea, but mostly I feel like we get budget in Netflix dramas nowadays. And back then, to see this type of money and production being put behind a K-drama was really groundbreaking to me. So I will leave you guys with that thought. What would you rate this drama out of 5 soju bottles?
Oh, okay. In terms of how many soju bottles I needed to get through this drama, like more than 5. But to formally rate it, I wouldn't put it like 5 out of 5 because I do think, like we mentioned, there's a couple things that are frustrating, things that are a little weird. But I don't think I'd sink it lower than 4. So maybe middle ground, like around like a 4.4.
Okay.
Like right there, yeah.
That's nice.
What about you?
I would give it a 4.
Okay.
4 out of 5 soju bottles. And I think that's what I rated on my blog review as well, which was done a few years ago. But without further ado, I think we're going to jump into spoilers and talk about this drama in even more depth. So we'll meet you on the other side of spoilers right after this.
Excuse me, 뭐라고?
괜찮아.
You know, I have no signal. Oh, sorry.
Swear, disgusting shit.
What?
All right, we're on the other side of spoilers. So if you don't care to be spoiled about Goblin and you haven't seen Goblin before, listen on. Okay, where would you like to start? I think that some of the best scenes happen kind of early on to me in the show.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have the needle drop of like beautiful life early on where she first summons him like on her birthday. She blows out the candle and then the cement boardwalk, this like gorgeous shot with the waves crashing behind them. He gives her the buckwheat flowers. What does these mean? Love her.
Yes.
Like it's just like and then the freaking OST. Oh, God, that's
unparalleled.
Still one of my favorite scenes in K-drama. It's just beautiful. And of course, like the beautiful life, obviously with the umbrella scene where they're like passing in the rain and he like looks at her and she like doesn't look at him, and it's you can tell like this is gonna be like a show because this is episode 1. Yeah. Both of those scenes happen.
For sure. I think what's hilarious to me about those scenes is like, since we're getting into spoilers, so Goblin has like a sword sticking out of his freaking chest, and it's a big ass sword, right?
Yes.
And like, it just cracks me up because Kim Go-eun's character, Eun-tak, sorry, like she's literally just seeing this guy. He's like, damn, he has a freaking sword in his chest, you know? And like, he's like handing her flowers, he's walking down the street, like all this, but like in her head, she's probably like, damn, this guy's like struggling right now, you know? But like, it's just funny to think that she could see it this whole time. Yes. And like, we have these beautiful scenes with them and it's all romantic. And she's just like, that's a sword.
That was kind of weird because that was a sticking point in the first few episodes, that she can only be the Goblin's bride if she sees like this blade sticking out of my chest. And she finally says, oh yeah, I see it. What's this? And points at it. That's another famous scene. But he asked her, like, why didn't you say nothing that you didn't see it this whole time? Yeah. And she was like, well, I thought it was rude. After, like, seeing you, I was like, I don't want to bring it up. It seemed like a big deal. Like, there must have been a history there, so I didn't want to, like, talk about it. And then, like, I missed my chance, and I thought it'd be rude to, like, bring it up now. So I thought that was kind of funny. And, again, it plays into her character kind of being mature and very young and innocent at the same time. Where maybe someone a little more mature understands maybe that a blade sticking out of someone's chest is very painful and there's some sort of like drama behind that. Maybe we can't get into it now. But then she also like doesn't tell the truth right away when it's evident that he's the goblin, and like she has all of these like whisperings that she is the goblin's bride. And so she understands that they're fated, that they should be together, that he's like probably not going to do any harm to her. He's not a ghost. And still she doesn't say anything for a few episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just cute because she's like, oh, well, like, I don't want you to kick me out of your place, you know, if I pulled it out and you don't, like, if you don't need me anymore. And I'm like, oh, you're such a baby, you know, like, you're so cute. And, like, which is totally understandable because, like, obviously she comes from, like, the saddest of paths, right? Like, it's like her mom passed away. God. That scene kills me every single time. Sorry, we're like jumping around. No,
it's fine. Let's talk about her home life because she, like you said, they crafted the most pitiful character I've ever seen.
For sure.
My God, the worst home life I've ever seen. Her mother dies early in the show. She's only 9 years old when the mom dies. I think that's episode 1 too.
Yeah, for sure. They packed it all in episode 1. Like,
and she like, oh my God, that scene is brutal because her mom dies. She comes home and she thinks it's her mother. It's not. It's her mother's soul. And she realizes that her mother has died. And it's on her birthday. She lights the candles on her cake before realizing like she's looking at her mother's like soul. It is brutal. I mean, one of the most emotional scenes in the drama. And it had like they throw it at you in episode 1. Like that's rude as shit. So it is so
for real. It's so like I'm not emotionally recovered from like most of episode 1 like to this day. Like it's just they were just chucking things at you, and like you know the scene like after she realizes the mom's dead and all that, and then she's like goes to the hospital, whatever, handles it very maturely. Like one of the female god, I guess, comes and gives her the biggest cabbage in the freaking world. I think that image has just been imprinted in my head. Just tiny, like 9-year-old girl who found out her mom died with a big red scarf holding a giant cabbage. And I'm just like, wow, like Goblin set itself up like that, you know?
Yeah.
First episode.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to kind of wrap your head around how bad of a life that she's had because they make her out to be the Cinderella character.
Yes, for sure.
And Goblin is the prince that comes and like saves her from her terrible life. And she, again, is like an outcast. And I don't think we necessarily feel that in the drama, that she's a social pariah. She sees ghosts and she has no friends. She has no family. The shittiest family you can think of she's living with. And she is still so positive and nice to people.
Yeah.
Again,
don't know how that happened.
I don't know how that happened. I don't know how they craft such a character, but you you believe Kim Go-eun that she is so pure of heart still, even after having such a crazy upbringing and basically raising herself in a life of adversity and being poor. She's like on the poverty line. She said like, oh yeah, I'm on the poverty line. So again, like financial difficulties too. It's like crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So like I totally get why like she finds this rich man who's like, you're technically supposed to be my bride, and she's like, let me try to stay at his place, get out of my situation. He's gonna grant me some freaking wishes. Like, let's go, let's get like my life better. So I totally understand why she was a little bit hesitant to like show her cards, I guess maybe. But at the same time, it's like, girl, you got to tell him you see the sword. Like, you got to tell him that you're like seeing these things, that you like know these things. You got to communicate with him a little bit here. But yeah, I think it's really cute that the Goblin basically got her a job at this chicken shop where it's again like the fates, right? And that's how she meets Sunny, and everyone kind of comes together in this moment. I think it's really adorable that like he's kind of helping her out in the beginning, but like we said earlier, like because they have a big age gap and they're technically supposed to be the brides, like at the very beginning there wasn't too much like romancy. It's really just him like trying to take care of her. Is that kind of how you felt too?
Yeah, I think that they kind of ramped up the romance during the first part of the show. He's more of a guardian to her and a protector, and he's answering all of her wishes, right? That she's like, I want a boyfriend, I want a job, and I want to get out of my aunt's house. And he's like answers them very slowly. And the boyfriend aspect is basically the one that takes the longest because they have to let the romance cook. Something else that I really like about the show is that you get the sense that she is missing so much love and affection and family. And throughout the show, she gains a family. And it's like this really odd supernatural family because she has the Reaper, she has Goblin, she has Dokwa, who's got his own thing that we'll talk about later. He's like possessed half the time. And she has all of these ghosts as well that follow her around and look after her.
Yeah, I think it's really cute that these ghosts kind of follow her around too. Like we see little clips and little moments of these like little like ghost friends who kind of like help her with her bullies, help her with like her family, et cetera, et cetera. And like, and to help back like, Kim Go-eun's character basically goes and like kind of, I guess, puts away their like regrets and whatnot and like the current world so that they can move over to the afterlife. So it's like a very positive relationship that they have. And like, typically in K-dramas, like I feel like ghosts are never really that positive, like true ghosts, right? It's like, so it's just really cute to see that dynamic. And like you talked about the family, like it's really great to see her kind of integrate. And like we mentioned earlier, the Grim Reaper and Goblin have this great relationship that, it's like, it's just like cute, like, I guess chemistry. I wouldn't say like a great relationship because the relationship isn't like super great, but like, it's just like a fun, like friendship, and then like she kind of comes in and it's like everyone kind of comes together and she meets Sunny, who is just an amazing friend to her. It's like basically like she takes care of her and like it's like her older sister in a way. But it is very, very sweet to see that. And I think it's great to see kind of the smaller stories associated with all these characters too. Like we mentioned the ghosts, but also for the Grim Reaper, he has like little side stories where he's taking people in and like kind of like showing them how to like move on to their next life and kind of their stories. Like the one that always gets me is the blind guy and his dog waiting for him at the door.
Stop it right now.
Don't cry again. Don't cry.
Oh God. That one. Yeah, because I saw somewhere on the internet that the best thing about Goblin is that they say good boys go to heaven. Like the dog is there in heaven as well and like waiting for the owner. Oh my God. It's so sad and like very touching. Super touching. Yeah. I was annoyed at first because I forgot the dog and the blind man going into the afterlife. And I was like, why is he still blind? Like, I don't get it. As soon as he dies, he should regain sight and be able to like go into the afterlife seeing everything at that point.
For sure.
Because he does not have a corporal body anymore. So that was very annoying to me. But then they open the door and there's this like sight dog there. And I was like, oh my God.
It all come together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sweet. But yeah, like just those little pieces I feel like definitely just make the show kind of next level for me, just because I always like it when they put little like side stories if they can do it well. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but I think Goblin handled it in a very great way where you don't get distracted by the side stories. You just like kind of like the side stories almost make you understand the emotions of the main characters more because for example, Grim Reaper is dealing with this stuff like on a day-to-day basis, and he's just like seeing the death and life and all that, and it just makes him kind of change as a person like throughout the drama as well, I think. So yeah, just a really great addition to that.
Yeah, because at first he seems kind of militant when he's giving the Oblivion tea and he's going about his day as if it's like a chore and just a job. And at the end, it feels like he's gained a lot of insight and it feels more personal to him when he is sending people off and when he is giving them the tea. So yeah, he definitely goes through a whole evolution throughout the show. And it might be like the second, all these themes like floating around of the value of a human life and death and life, the cycle of life, circle of life, however you want to call it. That is a huge major theme in the show. And they explore it supernaturally because you do have all of these afterlife sequences with the goblin and the tea and them opening the door and, oh, we got this asshole who doesn't want to take the tea and all this stuff, so he's going to go to hell and all this stuff. I had a little trouble like reconciling the punishment that they gave to Goblin because he was, how do I put this? It doesn't seem like he is the only subject of a Korean king or any king for that matter who was ever betrayed and killed unjustly. So to me, there should be a ton of goblins at that point because there's tons of different subjects throughout history who have been betrayed and killed unjustly and have some sort of vendetta or unresolved trauma that carries into their next life or will resurrect them or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I wonder if
that
like
was annoying to me.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like a, you know, like the best case, you drink your Oblivion team, you go and you kind of come back as a new person and da da da. The worst case, you don't get the tea, you go to hell, essentially. It sounds like what's happening and you just regret and kind of live this terrible life. And I guess there's middle ground, which is Goblin, where he's like, you don't really get a tea, you come back to life, you kind of remember everything, but you're rich, so it's all good. And like, it's kind of a weird middle ground, but I think there was a scene where Dokwa as the god was like, oh, you know, he was one of my favorites because I liked his good looks. So I guess it was kind of like, he was a favorite child of a god. So they're like, you know, you're kind of not the best person because you killed a bunch of people, but at the same time you did it for your country and your subjects love you and you're my favorite, so you know what, like we'll help you out and make you a goblin. I don't know, not like there's like a clear checklist here. It just seems like a lot of people, like just a lot of
that's
things
my
that people
issue is
about.
that I think it should be a little more cut and dry, but it wasn't. And Kim Shin, or the Dokebi, he and was like kind of on the fence deciding whether or not his immortality was a blessing or a curse, because he's blessing other people and is being basically a guardian angel for countless people throughout their lives and throughout his life that pop in and out. But then he's also in hideous pain every so often for whatever reason, because the blade is still in his chest and he wants to end his life. He feels that losing people throughout his life, friends especially, is a torture. And so it's like a mixed blessing, and he doesn't know like who is doing this to him. Like he doesn't have a face to put to like whatever god or entity is punishing him and making him live this life. And so there's also all these questions like, is God listening? What is God's plan? We don't know his will. We just get like we're just taking each day one day at a time, and like the Grim Reapers don't even know what's going on. It's like bizarre. There's no answers.
It's kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but like, you know, there's the butterfly, which is kind of like, that's supposed to be God who's always listening, kind of watching. And I guess like, because the goblin is a favorite, the god possessed like the one human that's kind of within their household, which is Dokwa. And so he's kind of like keeping an eye and like moving things along. Yeah. I think the worst part of the curse is that, you know, Goblin finds Goblin wife and Goblin wife literally has to end his life. Like that is hands down, like, well, the worst part, because it's like, you know, you're like finally find someone that you want to live for. And I think Goblin even says it in the show. Like, I finally found someone I'm like trying to live for, who gives me hope and gives me life.
Right.
And the moment I find her, I have realized that she has to kill me by taking out my sword.
Right.
And then the additional layer of that is like, if she does not do that, then she dies, because I guess the universe just works against them. And it's like, if she doesn't do it, then she dies. So if she has to die, then you live, and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, wow, it's just sad, fated love right here. Like you said.
It is a sad, fated love. They're star-crossed lovers, and you get that. But again, it's like a weird pendulum, like a weird paradox that's happening here, because if he lives, she dies. She dies, whatever. It's vice versa, and they cannot be together, right? Like, that's the whole conceit of the show, is they really fundamentally can't be together.
Yeah. And like, I guess we can move forward. I mean, since we're talking about spoilers, but eventually she does pull out the sword, and like he dies. And honestly, that scene was probably the saddest moment. And I think Kim Go-eun's acting in that scene, her cries like shook my soul, man. Those are so sad.
Let's talk about this, because honestly, I was like waiting for this scene the whole show, and every time they were like dressed in the same kind of clothes that they were in that scene, because it's seared into my memory, right? I was like, oh no, it's coming. So I was like bracing myself the whole time. And of course, when it happens late in the show, like episode 14.
Yeah, so late in the show.
Super late in the show. But like man, that whole episode is great, because first of all, he kisses her on the rooftop, which is a really good, passionate kiss. And he always like does it unexpectedly. He's always like, boom, like he just like turns around and like plants one on her. Then you have this weird convoluted plan for the ghost of that one dude 900 years ago who was like instigating shit, was trying to kill the goblin by possessing the goblin's bride. And it was like this whole thing. Yeah. That came together really fast, and it was really dumb, I thought. Yeah. But then he pulls out the sword using her, like, using her hands, and kills the ghost. And then, which is, it feels like an oxymoron, because he's already dead. Like, where is he sending him? Like, how is he killing him? Anyway, so he gets rid of that guy, sends him into the afterlife finally. And you have the goodbye scene.
Just devastating, right?
Devastating. Then he says, like, I will come as the rain. I will come as the first snow. I will beg God so that I can at least do that. Those lines, like, absolutely slay me. Then he dies. And like you said, Kim Go-eun's guttural wailing that she does completely breaks me in half.
For sure. Every single time. I've watched the show 4 times now. I have cried in that scene every single time. Even like, I was watching this for this podcast, and I was like, I know what's coming. I'm not gonna cry again. I think I was just like,
tears,
sobs, like I'm not okay. It's just so sad, because they tease it throughout the whole like beginning half of the show. They're like, oh, she's gonna take it out, like, oh, maybe, oh, is she gonna do it? Oh no, but she can't grab it. Oh, like, and you just keep thinking, and by this point you're like, all right, we're at episode 14. It's gonna be a happy ending, right? So like nothing bad's gonna happen. And then he fucking disappears, and you're like, holy, like he's gone.
He just burns up. It's like, oh my God, such a moment. Really great moment in K-drama. Like, this is, I don't know.
Just
it's
iconic.
like, it's like Leo dying in Titanic. You're just like, oh my God, why?
For sure. And it's just, you can never unsee that scene. It just hits you every time. Like, this is the OST, like the transition between the 2 songs, like everything is just perfectly crafted in that moment to just make you feel as much emotion as you possibly can. And it works every time. So, so that scene is rough. And then we get into like, he does end up striking a deal. Yeah, I was like, this is where it all kind of.
Then I get really confused again, because he gets stuck between this life and the afterlife in a purgatory where God does not dwell.
Yes.
He's just walking around in snow for 9 years.
9 years.
Time jump 9 years.
Life. Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like, where's this going? He ends up returning because of this longstanding promise that he would, whenever he was summoned on the first snow, that he would appear in front of her. So she finally does light a candle and blow it out on the day of the first snow. And I guess the double whammy causes him to like come back. But again, you don't hear any sort of like, this is your reward. Whatever, like any sort of explanation for why this obscure promise is what brings him back to life.
Yeah, there was like a scene where Dokwa and the female god are talking, and I think the only explanation that's given is like, oh, you know the door between whatever immortal realm. Like I just kind of left it open a little bit. Like that was it. He was just like, yeah, I kind of just didn't mind it. And I was like, what? I guess the agreement was strong enough to, I don't know. It's like the gods are just playing games at this point, you know.
They're just playing around. They're messing around. And I think I was watching the show trying to find clues as to why he would return. Maybe there's like breadcrumbs somewhere. The only one that I found was early on, he's having a conversation with Reaper in that like tea house, and all of a sudden a fully alive human walks through the door and is like, oh my god, where's the bathroom? Because he really needed to use the bathroom. And they were like, well, the will of a human can supersede like any kind of like supernatural laws. Like he should not be able to walk into the afterlife tea house or whatever that is.
Yeah, for sure. Like if they're desperate enough, which I guess Eun-tak and that moment was like, then it freaking works. You defy all the laws.
But again, like, what? Like there was too much that you just had to like accept for it to be a happy ending for you, and it kind of felt like. Here's an example I'll give. This is like a visual that, you know how you're watching like a fashion show or something and you see this wonderful model like walking down. You're like, oh my God, they're doing so well. They're killing it. And then all of a sudden they start like fumbling and they're like, oh my God. And you're like, oh God, they're going to fall. So then they fall, but then they get back up and finish the show. And you're like, well, at least they got up and like finished it. That is how the ending of Goblin feels. Like
really?
You're like,
okay.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful. And then you have like this like weird ass like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Oh, Goblin dies. Oh, he's back. Oh, whatever. She doesn't remember him. And then like all of a sudden a happy ending, like weird ass happy ending. And then you're like, I guess if that was a fine show. Like
yeah,
they made it.
But I feel like for your analogy, it's literally if she gets up again, falls off the runway, and then gets up and finishes.
That's exactly it.
Because we have to talk about how so there's happiness, right? So after Goblin comes back, Eun-tak eventually remembers him in France, in Canada. It's all happy and whatever. And then she gets into a car accident and dies in episode 16. And you're like, what? Like, okay, the model just fell off the runway.
Yeah, the model just fell off the fucking runway. Exactly.
Yeah.
She like sacrifices herself so no one knew it was going to happen because like this is outside of God's purview or like vision or whatever, because like she just again like more lore that's like happening in the final like sequence, and she dies right after they finally gotten married. And
you're like, what?
So she sacrificed herself with like a busload of kindergartners, and like you're just reeling. Like at this point, like you're like, what? Like this is a betrayal of trust on the part of like the showrunners and us, the audience, who have been here all this time, like trying to get a happy ending out of it. But again, sad love. Gotta remember sad love.
Gotta remember.
Second goodbye scene. Another emotional wreck that it put me in, because she's like, he's bawling his eyes out in the tea house.
Oh yeah. Yep.
She's trying not to cry. She's like, I'll come find you. She refuses the tea. It's like, oh my God, like what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So we get that.
Like you're emotionally broken at this point already. Because you're like, because it's another shock. You're like, episode 16, typical K-drama world. Episode 16, everyone's happy, you're wrapping everything up. Happy. We're good, right? She dies in like the last 30 minutes. And you're just like, what, and like you said, the tea house scene, so impactful because this time he's the one that's crying, because like if you remember in the first one where he dies, she's sobbing, right, and he's kind of just like let it happen, like this is what it's supposed to be. And this one, she's kind of like, it's okay, like I'll be back, and he is broken, so it's just that crazy. It's like they're both not going to be happy, like
because at first he was prepared to die, she of course was not. prepared for him to die, and then all of a sudden no one's prepared for her to die. Like she didn't know she was gonna wake up that day and have a perfect day and then die. And then he like finally gets his bride. He's waited for her in this weird purgatory in the snow for all this time, and then boom, she dies.
Yep.
Then we get another time jump 30 years into the future.
Yeah.
The year, I figured out, the year is 2057 by now.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Dang. All right. So he
now,
waited.
So 30 years. Now Sunny dies.
Yes.
And we have another T scene where now Sunny and Reaper go into the afterlife because Reaper's off the hook. He's fulfilled his Reaper contract and he can be reborn or what have you at this point. Very emotional scene. And now I don't know how long it's been because now we get another time jump. Presumably, what is it? It could be 3 months. It could be 500 years. I do not know. We do not know how long it's been between when Sunny dies and between the final sequence of the show. And you see Sunny and Reaper get their happy ending because in this life, they become an actress and a police officer. And they have their happy ending finally.
Adorable. Happy for
really
them,
good.
I guess.
Props to the writer because that was very cute. I 100% loved their ending.
Yes.
Reaper has left Korea, is in Quebec again, and she's there on a school trip, sees him at the cemetery, and like, she remembers him because she never took the tea. So I guess that's our happy ending. She's back to being an underage like girl, and what life is she on? She had like this whole like theory that humans had 4 lives according to like the seasons. Like you had one where you like sow seeds and another one where you like reap what you sowed and all this stuff. Like she had this whole thing figured out. She asked the Reaper before in the goodbye scene, like, what life am I on? And he's like, well, you've had 1 life. So she's like, okay, I have 3 more. But like, was he lying? Did she already live a life? More than 1 life?
Or maybe, maybe she had a life where she hadn't met the Goblin or something. Like, who knows, right? There's like a lot of unknowns. I think for my sanity, I'm going to assume that this is her second life where she has met Goblin again on the fields of Quebec and they're going to be happy and they're going to, live and be happy again or whatever. But like, the ending I was like happy that they met each other, but I was like sad because I'm like, this is just gonna keep happening for him because he doesn't really have an out now. Like he's just gonna be Goblin forever, right? Because like the sword is out, his wife is here. They're gonna be happy. He's gonna have to watch her get born and then die, and then wait another 100 years, and then watch her get born and die again. And like, this is just what he's accepted for herself, and her love is enough, I guess. Yeah, there was another show that did something similar where he. The god, it was called The Bride of Habeck. And spoiler for that show, but basically he chooses to live out a little bit of his immortal life on Earth with his girl. And I'm like, that's a sad ending to me because she will eventually age and die and he will stay young and beautiful forever. And then he goes back to living his life like as a water god, like in the heavens. So like they will be separated. This is not a happy ending to me. And in this case too, this is a bittersweet ending because of course she finds him again and you're like, oh great, like we get to start all over. No, hun, like she's a human and he's an immortal, so they're gonna be separated at some point. Yeah. It's like they don't explicitly say anything, so you kind of are left with the happy scene of them re-meeting. Right. And so initially you're like, yay,
she found him.
And then the screen turns black and you're sitting there like, but is this really happy? Like,
yes.
Am I really happy with this? Like, and you're like, I'm not, because if you think about it, it's just like you said, it's like he's gonna watch her go old and die, and
we're gonna have another tea scene later on again.
Yeah, with a random Grim Reaper this time, because and it's just sad because he doesn't even have the Grim Reaper as a friend at this point, anyways. Like, he's truly lonely.
Yes,
like, it's just with this, I guess, this family of people who just kind of keeps being his servants, but like that's really it, like
and that's
he doesn't
sad.
have anyone.
That's also very sad for that family. Like, never mind that they're like tribals and like are made of money at this point, but their whole existence is like to be his servants. Let's talk. Like what?
Oh yeah, just I guess it's fate. I don't know. It's this show. It's just like feel like it's great. There's a lot of great scenes, but kind of the go-to is always like it's fate. It's just fate.
It's
like,
just fate.
Yeah, don't
Just
worry about
accept
it. It's fate.
Destiny.
Yeah, exactly. Which, honestly, while watching the show, I was like, yep, I accept it. It's fate. I'm fine with this.
I get that fate's gonna hurt me, but I'm here. I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but yeah, what a crazy, crazy, crazy drama. Just so many plot lines, so many like twists and turns. There's just definitely like a lot of things that you're just really not expecting. And I think that's what kind of keeps you on your toes, because you're like, first you're entranced by the beautiful scenes. Like you mentioned, all the beautiful scenes really happen towards the beginning, and that sets the tone. You're like, wow, so pretty. Wow, I want to have a catching,
Crush is serenading you on the OST.
Exactly. And you're just like, this is great. And then it just starts getting into twist after twist after twist, and until the end where you're just like, what is my life
That
now?
was still a twist.
Yeah, exactly.
Another twist.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just a crazy, crazy drama. But like I said, like you and I both watched it so many times. It's just one of those that
It's one of those.
just timeless.
It is timeless. Yeah. And I think that's like the appeal is that this couple is all time. And this is one of those roles that they'll be remembered for forever. Like she will always be the Goblin's bride, and he will always be Goblin Dokebi.
Yeah.
Which is nice, like to think about. And we were talking about our second leads and how they had basically such great chemistry, and they were selling this like super tragic history and love that they had. And honestly, it felt like they didn't get enough. Like this couple were so great that they ended up putting them together again in Touch Your Heart.
Yes.
And they start again as lovers, and you're like, yes, like this is like another, I want to see them again. It's like, so addictive to see two characters who just didn't get like the full force of their love like in the show. So you get like another show where you kind of like live it all over again.
Yeah, for sure. I think the second lead, I really liked them because it was really cute, because Grim Reaper is supposed to be this like awkward guy, and then Sunny's supposed to be this cool girl,
Right.
She's like, I'm Sunny, and like, she's just so gorgeous this
Not
whole
funny,
time, right?
Sunny.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And like, there's just so much like bad blood because of their history and their fates, and he was a king, she was a queen, he killed her because of like all this just stuff right from the past that just essentially keeps them from being together. And like, to be honest, I was kind of like, honestly, you guys should just be together anyways, like even during the Grim Reaper Sunny phase of their lives, because I was like, what's the worst that can freaking happen? Like, sure, he's a Grim Reaper, but like, just hang out. Like, it's okay.
I
like,
feel
don't take
you.
it so seriously.
I feel you. And in the end, I think Goblin said something like, "Oh, they couldn't be together in this life because she couldn't forgive him." And I'm like, I didn't get those vibes at all.
She was ready.
She was ready.
Forgive.
Yeah, she was ready to forgive. She was ready to get with Goblin, but I'm not Goblin, Reaper.
Reaper. Yeah.
But yeah, she sort of was like, okay, well, I guess we can't be together. Too much has happened, and this is the only way I can punish you, so we won't be together. I'm like, girl, you're punishing yourself.
Yeah. Like, just live your life, you know? Like, girl, it's okay. Like, and it's just so sad because, obviously after Goblin died, everyone forgot their memories.
Right.
But for some reason, Sunny didn't forget her memories, and Reaper didn't forget his memories. And, like, they just never contacted each other because they kind of assumed that each other had. It was just unnecessary stress. I feel like, like I get it. It's the past. It sucks. And like, there's a lot of things stopping you from doing what you need to do. But like, maybe just be selfish. Like, it's okay, Like, yeah, that was a little tough for me to swallow. But it's like, it made it more sad. And when they did get together at the end, it just made it more impactful. So I understand why they did it. But I was like, I just want them to hold hands and be happy,
Right. And there's something about the show with, everyone who's died taking the Oblivion tea where you kind of want that restart. You want that to start over. You don't want your past to hold you back or to make you feel inferior or the opposite. And in their case, because they both remembered through whatever reason, they couldn't like get past it.
Yeah.
And so it was nice that you kind of had this concept of oblivion or forgetting being a mercy to people so that they can, be reincarnated or just live their life differently than how they did things before. So for them, they couldn't live past it. I think they could have personally, like you said, they could have just gotten together in this life.
Yeah.
And we never find out like what the hell happened to her when she left Korea.
Just moved out. Yeah, she just kind of did her own thing and then came back as a grandma when she died. Like,
this is a nitpick because the year is 2047 or whatever I said it was, and she dies. She's dressed as a harmony. Like, why is she dressed like that? It's the year 2047. And look how stylish she was when she was young. Like, all of a sudden, she's wearing like a chunky ass cardi and like a long skirt. Like, what? This isn't 1968.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, because she's wealthy, so it's not like she's like slumming it out somewhere. Like, I don't know.
What?
Like, where's the Sunny we knew?
Where is Sunny?
Who are you?
Who are you and what have you done with Sunny?
Exactly. But yeah, a little sad to see her like that. I agree.
Mm-hmm. The last two things I want to touch on are the Lady in Red and Dokwa, because they go hand in hand. The Lady in Red was also the old woman street vendor, and she is some other god.
I guess. Confirmed.
So the Lady in Red shows up in episode 8, and she says, why does Goblin at that point say that Lady in Red blessed him as a child? Was she his mother? Or was she like, what is that blessing thing that he was talking about? And then that's when she reveals like, oh, you should get that sword pulled out quick because otherwise homegirl's gonna die.
Yeah, I think like she is supposed to be like one of the gods, and I think all of the people on Earth are her children in a way. I think that's how I interpreted it. Like, she is just, I don't know, like a human creating god or whatever, and like Dokwa's god is maybe not as much, like, because he doesn't really call too many people his children. Like, it seems like there was an interaction between the woman in red and Dokwa where she was like, you should have created a world with no sin or whatever. So it seems like she is the human god and he might be like the world god, is kind of how I made sense of things. I don't know, could be totally wrong,
but then in episode 11 she goes to congratulate Eun-tak on her graduation, dressed head to toe in red.
Yeah, loved it.
And like hugs her, tells her mom would be so proud. And then she says, direct quote, "When you came to exist, I was so happy."
Yeah.
So like what?
I don't know. Favorite babies, maybe
guess.
God just has favorite babies.
I don't know. And then she gives her a bouquet of cotton. What the hell did the cotton mean?
Okay, I actually love that bouquet though.
It was beautiful.
Like,
it was unusual.
I want that cotton ball, like, for sure. So,
so that was like another thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe we're missing some sort of like what the meaning of cotton is in that moment.
Yeah, could be.
Oh man,
I don't know.
But then Dokwa was possessed for I don't know how long in the show by another god, the butterfly, presumably.
Yes.
And I don't know, he was like buddy with the lady in red, but then like gave the body up at some point, and like he gave them a riddle. Like before he like exited Dokwa's body, he gave them a riddle. Yeah. And I
don't feel like anyone solved it. I don't know.
Nobody solved that riddle. I can't even This is what's really frustrating to me is that you love the romance, but then the whole circumstances around it are weird. And they're being punished, but like for what? And then
Yeah, I feel like what you said, it's not like super clear. Like there's not a checklist or any of this. You kind of just have to go with the flow for a lot of this stuff. Like the whole Dokwa being a god thing, like I think
that was weird. I don't think they should have put that in at all, to be honest.
Yeah, like rewatching it, I think it was really just a plot mover. Like they needed somebody to kind of drive things because otherwise logically it wouldn't have made sense, right? Like for example, when Eun-tak goes into the ski resort, basically Dokwa is like, oh yeah, I found her, she's here, but like only because he was god, so he figured it out kind of thing. And so I think they needed him to be more of a, I guess, fancy being because without it, like things couldn't have moved as quickly because people were too caught up in their own emotions. That's kind of how I've just justified it. And I think, he was possessing Dokwa to be close to that group because in essence he did like Goblin. I think it was just kind of like he likes this dynamic, he likes this little group, so he's like, let me insert myself in here, you know, and he being, I guess, the world god in this scenario. So a lot of assumptions I'm saying, like I feel like I'm talking very confidently, so people are gonna be like, oh yeah, that probably makes sense. But like honestly, this is just me pulling stuff out right now. So, but this is how I've logically tried to just justify a lot of the things in this show.
Okay, I appreciate it because I just have questions and like you're like, okay, I'll answer it to the best of my ability.
Yeah, I try.
Shout out to them going to the movies and Gong-yu freaking out when they watch Train to Busan.
Amazing scene.
Love that Easter egg there. Again, Jung-hae and Oppa being her first love or something like that was great
right?
too.
So random. I'm just so crazy seeing him there. I was like, wow, Jung-hae.
I know. You're like, oh my God, amazing. And he hasn't aged a day.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So true. That man is immortal. If anyone's a goblin, it's him.
It's Jung-hae. Yeah.
We're calling it now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The BTS and EXO mention in episode 9. Because the old chairman is like, what should I get her as a gift? And there's like a list of things that girls her age love. And it's like BTS and EXO. And I was like,
yep.
Oh my God.
I mean, they ain't wrong. So
they're not wrong to this day.
Yeah, to this day. So
to this fucking day. And then I don't know why, but this came out of left field in episode 10 where one of the ghosts was her mother's high school BFF who like watched over her and like the insurance money. And that was very emotional as well.
Yeah, that was very unexpected because, you know, the other ghosts don't really have like ties with like the characters, you know, they're kind of just side characters, whatever. And the fact that that was like her mom's best friend was just so wild. But at the same time, like it kind of made sense and it made me feel better because like the whole insurance money was always like kind of up in the air, right? And the aunt and the whole family was trying to like steal from her. And the fact that this ghost kind of was watching over her did make me feel good. I was like, wow, ghosts are friends, you know?
Ghosts are friends, not enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was good. Again, that wrecked me. But the other thing that wrecked me, and this might be my last point, is the black tongue that they put on the ghost for the old. Remember that? Like, what was he? Like, I forget his name. But
I forget too. He was like an advisor to the king,
yes.
right? And I think Kong-yu's character had choked him, or Goblin had choked him to death when he had come back, which is why his tongue was black. But it was so slimy looking.
He kept like not a fan. Sticking it out and stuff, and like licking his bottom lip, and you're just like, I feel wrong right now for even watching this. Like, it's so gross.
Oh, agreed. Yeah. I try to keep that whole face out of my memory because that makeup was really intense.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Anyway, I think I've come to the end of my notes. Is there anything else you'd love to say about Goblin?
Yeah, I think my last thing is like I think on our podcast, one of the things we always talk about for K-dramas is everyone's storyline wrapped up. And I think Goblin is one of, I don't want to say the few, but one of the K-dramas that I've seen personally that I'm like, every single person's storyline has wrapped up, no matter how minor of a character, how whatever. Like even Eun-tak's terrible family, like the aunt and like the two kids, like the aunt basically comes back as a ghost and Eun-tak kind of like helps her get into the afterlife. Like even that piece, I was just like, wow, like they even thought to bring that back. Like just one of the things that I think Goblin just does really, really well is making sure everyone's like ending is touched on, even if it's sad, even if it's happy, whatever. Like they close the loop on everyone, which is just so great, and one of the things I love about it. Yeah,
even one of the other. Yeah, I agree with you. And even one of the other Grim Reapers who shook Sunny's hand at some point to see her own life and like what she did wrong.
Yeah.
She had this whole conversation again with Reaper, who was like, don't worry about it, live your life, blah, blah, blah. Like, forgive yourself. That's what the gods want, is for us to forgive ourselves, because the whole reason they were Grim Reapers was because they committed suicide, which is a whole another thing that we really didn't get into,
so wild.
Which was really heavy. And like, they brought that up at the very end, and you're like, well, shit. Like,
shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, because the worst sin that you can commit is taking your own life, which is in this lore. Again, like, that makes the most sense to me, right? Out of everything that they introduced. But it was very heavy-handed, and again, like even small characters got their story wrapped up.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay,
yeah.
we have come to the end of this wonderful show. It's wonderful despite all the nitpicks that I had and that you had too.
Yeah.
The romance is good. Age gap, not so much, but that's okay. That's okay. It's still rewatchable, which is great.
Yeah. For sure.
That's the most positive thing I can say about the show is that it's rewatchable.
Yeah. Despite how heavy it is, it's rewatchable, which is very rare because like heavy shows, like I barely rewatch them because it's such an emotional thing. But like we said, the funny scenes, the romances, the chemistries between all the characters, that's just, it lets you redo this multiple times, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Jenny, thank you so much for coming on the show. I can't believe you said yes to coming on the show because I love your show so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And say hi to all of your co-hosts for me. Hopefully we can get you guys all on the show or something. It's been so much fun. Where can we find you online?
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about our podcast. So we're called Pocha Playlist. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, basically on every single platform that you listen to your podcast on. If you want to check us out, we're basically a group of 4 people. So it's me and my 3 other co-hosts, Brandon, Terry, and Andy. We just kind of talk about ongoing K-dramas, give like recommendations. We have like a Pocha Playlist, which is like our rankings for what we think the best K-dramas are in a year. And we kind of it's kind of a fun little podcast. We're not super serious. I feel like we kind of want to create this community sense of like, hey, you're just chatting with your friends about K-dramas. So yeah, come check us out on all of those things if you want to listen to us more.
Nice. Yes, please go check out Pocha Playlist. They're so much fun. And I think we've come to the end. That's been our show. I'm Jessica, and this has been the ATC Presents Debak K-Rambles podcast.